Stand here, on an ordinary summer morning in the year 79 AD, and nothing seems unusual. The streets are already alive. Bakers pull fresh loaves from glowing ovens. Merchants shout across crowded markets. Children race through narrow stone alleys, and the distant sea sparkles beneath a cloudless sky. Above it all rises Mount Vesuvius, quiet, familiar, almost forgotten. To the people of Pompeii, it is simply part of the landscape. No one knows that in less than 24 hours, this peaceful city will vanish forever. By tomorrow, thousands of lives will end. Entire neighborhoods will disappear beneath mountains of ash, and Pompeii will become one of history's greatest time capsules. Today, we are about to walk through its final day. As the first rays of sunlight spread across the Bay of Naples, Pompeii awakens with remarkable energy. Nearly 15,000 people call this prosperous Roman city home. Elegant villas decorated with colorful frescoes stand beside modest apartments where laborers begin another day of work. Cobblestone streets echo with the rumble of wooden carts, their iron wheels leaving familiar grooves carved into the stone over generations. At every intersection, fountains pour cool water into carved basins where citizens gather to fill clay jars while exchanging the latest rumors from Rome. The air is rich with the scent of freshly baked bread, olive oil, herbs, and smoke drifting from hundreds of kitchens. Vendors arrange baskets overflowing with figs, grapes, dates, almonds, and bright vegetables harvested from the fertile volcanic soil surrounding the city. Fishermen return from the sea carrying baskets filled with shimmering fish, while butchers prepare cuts of pork and lamb beneath striped awnings that provide little relief from the growing summer heat. Pompeii is more than a city, it is a symbol of Roman success. Marble temples honor powerful gods. Luxurious bathhouses welcome wealthy citizens seeking relaxation and conversation. Taverns overflow with travelers, sailors, politicians, and merchants discussing business over cups of wine. Everywhere, colorful paintings decorate walls, fountains sparkle in courtyards, and statues remind everyone that they live in one of the empire's most prosperous communities. Yet beneath every step lies an invisible danger. The rich volcanic soil that has made Pompeii wealthy exists for only one reason. The mountain towering over the city is not just another hill. It is a volcano, but no living resident truly understands what that means. Vesuvius has slept for generations. Its violent past has faded into legend, and those stories are dismissed as myths told by grandparents. Still, the mountain has been whispering warnings. For several days, tiny earthquakes have shaken dishes from shelves and rattled doors inside wealthy villas. Dogs bark through the night for reasons no one can explain. Horses grow restless in their stables. Birds suddenly abandon trees overlooking the mountain. Some families pause to wonder if the gods are unhappy. But life in Pompeii has always included occasional tremors. Most people laugh them off before returning to work. By late morning, the city reaches its busiest hour. The forum is crowded with citizens wrapped in bright white togas, slaves carrying heavy baskets, and visitors arriving from neighboring towns. Money changes hands with astonishing speed. Jewelers polish gold necklaces. Blacksmiths strike glowing iron with rhythmic force. Children weave through the crowd while teachers attempt to keep them focused. The city feels unstoppable. Not far away, gladiators continue training inside their barracks. Their wooden swords clash against shields as instructors bark commands beneath the blazing Mediterranean sun. Soon they expect another roaring crowd inside the amphitheater. They have no idea many of them will never fight another match. Inside elegant homes, servants prepare lavish midday meals. Fresh bread, olives, roasted meats, exotic spices imported from distant provinces, and expensive wines fill polished dining rooms. Wealthy families discuss politics, business opportunities, and plans for future celebrations. Some admire newly painted frescoes that depict gardens more colorful than nature itself. Ironically, these paintings will survive longer than the people who commissioned them. As afternoon approaches, something changes. The sunlight begins to feel strangely dim. Not because evening is near, but because high above Mount Vesuvius, something enormous is beginning to awaken. The first sound is not an explosion, but a deep, unnatural roar. It rolls across the countryside like distant thunder that refuses to end. Conversations stop mid-sentence. Merchants lower their voices. People slowly turn toward the mountain that has watched over their city for generations. Then, without warning, the summit of Vesuvius tears itself apart. A colossal column of black ash, glowing rock, and volcanic gas erupts into the sky with unimaginable force. It climbs higher and higher, far above the clouds, forming a giant pine-shaped plume visible for miles in every direction. The earth trembles violently beneath Pompeii. Windows shatter, roof tiles crash into the streets, birds scatter in every direction, disappearing into the darkening sky. For a moment, the entire city stands frozen. No one has ever seen anything like this. Some believe Jupiter himself has unleashed his wrath. Others rush to the temples, falling to their knees and praying desperately for mercy. Parents grab their children. Shopkeepers abandon their stalls without taking a single coin. Soldiers shout conflicting orders that vanish beneath the deafening roar of the volcano. Then the ash begins to fall. At first it seems harmless, like grey snow drifting gently through the warm afternoon air. Curious children reach out to catch it in their hands. But within minutes, the gentle snowfall becomes relentless. Fine volcanic dust fills every breath, scratching throats and burning eyes. The brilliant colors of Pompeii begin to disappear beneath a blanket of gray. Panic spreads faster than the eruption itself. The city's narrow streets, once alive with trade and laughter, become rivers of terrified people. Families desperately search for one another through the growing darkness. Mothers call the names of children they can no longer see. Elderly citizens struggle to walk as sharp volcanic stones rain from the sky, smashing rooftops and crashing through balconies. The air grows heavier with every passing minute. Each breath carries ash into the lungs. Every gust of wind makes visibility worse. The sun, so bright only hours before, fades behind a wall of black smoke until midday feels like the middle of the night. Oil lamps flicker inside homes as frightened families barricade their doors, hoping thick walls will protect them from whatever is happening outside. But the mountain is only beginning. Outside the city walls, vineyards that once stretched across the countryside disappear beneath layers of ash. Olive trees bend under the growing weight until branches snap with loud cracks. Wells become contaminated. Streams turn gray. Farm animals break free from their pens, running blindly through fields they can no longer recognize. Some citizens decide to flee toward the sea. They wrap pieces of cloth around their faces and carry only what they can hold in their arms. Jewelry, family treasures, and bags of coins suddenly seem meaningless compared to a single drink of clean water or one more breath of fresh air. Every road leading out of Pompeii fills with desperate crowds pushing through an endless storm of ash and falling stone. Others make a different choice. They stay. Surely this nightmare will end soon. Surely the mountain will calm itself. After all, it always has. They cannot know that the deadliest part of the disaster has not yet arrived. As evening approaches, the weight of volcanic debris becomes unbearable. Roof after roof collapses under tons of ash. The sound echoes through the city like thunder. Homes that had sheltered generations crumble in seconds, trapping entire families beneath broken beams and shattered stone. Still, the eruption continues. The darkness grows even deeper, and somewhere inside that towering cloud above Vesuvius, a far more terrifying force is gathering, one that no one in Pompeii will be able to outrun. Night falls, but no one can tell. The sky has become so black that the difference between evening and midnight no longer exists. The only light comes from flashes of lightning dancing inside the enormous cloud above Vesuvius, briefly revealing a city that is slowly disappearing beneath a blanket of ash. Every flash exposes terrified faces, collapsing buildings, and streets that only hours ago had been full of life. The weight on the rooftops grows unbearable. One by one, homes begin to cave in. Thick wooden beams snap with explosive cracks before entire ceilings collapse into the rooms below. Families who believed they would be safest indoors suddenly find themselves trapped beneath stone, timber, and volcanic debris. Outside, cries for help echo through the darkness, but they are quickly swallowed by the constant roar of the mountain. Those who are still fleeing struggle to keep moving. Ash now reaches their ankles, then their knees. Every step becomes harder than the last. The air is almost impossible to breathe. Many wrap pieces of cloth over their mouths, but the hot, choking dust slips through every gap. Eyes burn, lungs ache, fear replaces hope. Along the shoreline, hundreds gather, praying that ships will rescue them. Some stare across the dark water, waiting for sails to appear through the haze. Others look back toward the city where loved ones are still trapped. But the sea itself has become violent. Waves crash unpredictably against the shore, and the air is filled with floating ash that turns the horizon into complete darkness. Then, sometime before dawn, the mountain unleashes its deadliest weapon. The towering eruption column begins to collapse under its own weight. A massive cloud of superheated gas, ash, and pulverized rock races down the slopes of Vesuvius at unimaginable speed. It moves faster than a horse can gallop, hotter than any fire humans could create. and leaves no chance for escape. There is no warning, no time to run, no time to say goodbye. The scorching surge sweeps through the outskirts of Pompeii, flattening everything in its path. Trees snap like twigs, walls crumble instantly. Moments later, another surge crashes into the heart of the city. Streets that had echoed with desperate footsteps only moments before fall completely silent. Pompeii is gone, not destroyed by lava, as many imagine, but buried beneath layers of volcanic ash and rock several meters deep. Villas, temples, markets, bakeries, bathhouses, and theaters disappear beneath the earth as though they had never existed. The voices of thousands vanish in a single night. And then, silence. Days become months, months become centuries. Grass begins to grow where bustling streets once stood. New villages rise nearby, while memories of Pompeii slowly fade into legend. Future generations know that a city once stood somewhere beneath the ground, but no one remembers exactly where. Nearly 17 centuries pass before workers digging beneath vineyards make an astonishing discovery. Stone walls, painted frescoes, ancient streets, entire homes frozen in time. As archaeologists carefully remove the layers of hardened ash, they uncover something even more extraordinary. Hollow spaces remain where victims once lay. By filling those voids with plaster, they reveal the final positions of Pompeii's people: a mother shielding her child, friends embracing one another, a man clutching a small bag of belongings, even a loyal dog still chained where it had waited for its owner. These are not statues, they are the final moments of real lives, preserved by one of history's greatest disasters. Today, nearly 2,000 years later, millions walk the silent streets of Pompeii. Pompeii reminds us that even the greatest cities can disappear in a matter of hours. Wealth, power, and magnificent architecture could not stop the forces of nature. Yet through tragedy, the city achieved a different kind of immortality. Instead of fading into history, it became one of the most extraordinary windows into everyday life in the ancient Roman world. But if you listen closely, it almost feels as though the city is still waiting for its people to return. And perhaps that's why Pompeii continues to captivate us, not because of how it died, but because it allows us to see how an ancient civilization truly lived. If you enjoyed this journey through history, consider subscribing for more cinematic adventures into the world's lost civilizations. And tell us in the comments, which forgotten city should we explore next?